I hear it's your first day as an engineer. Let me be the first to welcome you aboard. I bet you're excited to get started. I remember my first day at the controls. We were hauling a heavy load through the heart of a storm. Lightning struck a tree nearby and sent it crashing onto the tracks ahead. As quickly as I could, I slammed on the brakes and skidded to a stop just in time. Adrenaline pumping, I radioed for help and we worked together to clear the debris. It was a reminder that, on the rails, you've got to be ready for anything.
Rusty, are you banging on about one of your stories again?
How rude. I was just talking about my first day on the job.
There's no time for stories. You need to get the newbie up to speed on handling a train.
Let's get you familiar with the controls. To navigate the route, gently tilt the left thumbstick on your controller. If you stray too far from your train, don't panic. Simply tap the left bumper on your controller to teleport back to your last train. Now, instead of moving, sometimes you'll just want to glance around. Use the right thumbstick on your controller to pivot and take in your surroundings. Aim to get those 2D navigation displays in the center of your screen. This isn't the train you'll be driving today, so disembark from it by hitting the left bumper again. Here's something that'll help you find the train you're looking for. Get a bird's eye view by tapping the down button on the D-pad several times to zoom out and see more of the map. Nice. This gives a clear overview of the surrounding area to help easily find the train. If you zoom out far enough, you get an overview of the entire route. This highlights the track layout and certain objects throughout your route. To zoom in, tap or press and hold the up button on the D-pad. When moving around, if you get close enough to a train, you can attach the camera. Make your way to the CSX-Transportation attached to those empty coal hoppers. Once you're close, press the left bumper to attach to the train. I bet you'd like to see inside the cabin. To zoom into the driver's seat, press and hold the up button on the D-pad. It's time for a guided tour on operating the train. First up, we need to locate the reverser. This allows you to set the direction that the locomotive will drive. Currently, the locomotive is in neutral. The X button will cycle between the throttle and reverser mode. Tap the X button until you enter reverser mode. Now that the reverser is selected, use the right trigger to move the reverser into the forward position. When pressure builds in the brake cylinders, the locomotive's brakes are applied. We now want to release the train brakes. Press the Y button to enter train brake mode. Now that the train brake is selected, tap the right bumper several times to release the brakes and wait for the brake cylinder pressure to reach 0. Good, the brakes are released. Now it's time to get moving. Cycle to throttle mode by pressing the X button. Excellent! Use the right trigger to increase the throttle to position 1 to start the train rolling. Nice work. Let's build up a little speed, shall we? About 10 miles an hour should keep you within the speed limit. The engine's power output is controlled by the train throttle, which increases and decreases the amount of power to the wheels. By increasing the throttle with the right trigger, you'll be putting more power to the wheels, allowing you to accelerate faster. Reducing the throttle with the right bumper decreases power and can slow the train on level or uphill track. It's best to make small changes to the throttle, moving it 1 or 2 notches at a time. Try and stay within the speed limits by working the throttle. You can also use the brakes if needed. As your speed gets closer to the speed limit, you can ease off the throttle by using the right bumper. You can zoom in and out of the cab using the up and down buttons on the D-pad at any time. Tap and hold the down button to get out of the cab view. Likewise, tap and hold the up button to get back in the cab. At the bottom of your screen is the track profile. It has a lot of useful information. It can tell you about any upcoming speed changes and the status of each signal ahead. If you're approaching a hill climb or a downhill run, upcoming stations, and more. Today, let's just focus on using the track profile to keep to the correct speed. To sound the horn, push and hold the right thumbstick down. Make sure you blow the horn when you start the train moving or when approaching a level crossing. You'll be making your way to Gilbert's today to load your coal hoppers. In order to get there, you'll be heading up and over past Peabody Lumber. There's a 2% grade coming up. This means you'll want to increase your throttle to maintain your speed up the incline. Try and tackle this first hill. Be sure to stay within the speed limits. Here's a handy tip. You can press and hold the X button to quickly release all brakes, engage forward traction, and switch to throttle mode. And here's another handy tip. You can press and hold the Y button to apply the emergency train brake.
Okay, we'll get on the tail end and clear mission junction, and then we'll check it out. Thank you, appreciate it, Doctor. Let me know when you're going to get on the road.
First hill climb like it was yesterday. We were hauling a heavy load, and it was the middle of the day, and boy was it hot. The kind of uncomfortable heat where you were reluctant to lean on anything in fear of third-degree burns. And as we made our way up the 6-degree incline, I could feel the wheels start to slip.
Rusty, I can hear you through the two-way radio. Stop exaggerating about things that never happened and get back to work.
Well, you know what they say. Never let the truth get in the way of a good story. Remember, X button for throttle, Y button for train brake, right bumper and right trigger for changing the values of the mode you're in.
What are you planning on doing? Are you just getting your air up?
Now we're getting it out here for ready to go here.
see various types of nav points throughout the game. This upcoming nav point means to proceed forward along the path you're heading. There are many other types of nav points to look out for. Keep an eye out as they help give directions on the task you're currently working towards. Coming up to Peabody Lumber. There's still an uphill climb, so keep the throttle on until the grade starts to level out. Is a downhill run. You should throttle off completely and engage the dynamic brake. Use the right bumper to set the throttle to 0, which is known as the idle position. Use the Y button to cycle to the dynamic brake mode. Engage the dynamic brake by pressing the right trigger. You can now increase the dynamic brake with the right trigger and use the traction motors to slow down your train. This is a very efficient way to slow down a train and reduce wear and tear on its brakes. If you need more braking power, you can increase the dynamic brake with the right trigger. If you need to reduce the amount of braking power, use the right bumper. If at any time the dynamic brakes are not enough to slow your train, you can cycle to the train brakes using the Y button and apply them. There is a speed limit reduction up ahead. Be sure to control your train to keep your speed within the upcoming speed indicated.
I have no ability to issue a video with miles on the evening stop over.
Sure, but that's not the easy stop. You run easy stop. The stop by easy stop is the old one. I'm not sure how it works for you guys here. Stop ID that stop and the stop the first speed and tunnels over.
Winnipeg Junction on the Northminster side, the second arrow bridge campus.
Okay, that's great. I agree with you on both of them, and he said I gotta let you know, but okay, I guess I'll talk to him, and hopefully we can figure something out.
Yeah, I mean, if there's a way I can put it in for order, that's fine, I'll do it, but I don't know what the mileage would be, or cost designation, or anything like that. So, if you can figure that out with him and give me the information, I'm more than happy to issue the order, but I'm not going to issue it if I don't know what's going on.
Okay, yeah, so I'll mention to him that
To avoid rolling down the hill, I think we might just apply the train brake. Now that the train has come to a complete stop and the train brake has been applied, it's time to change the junction up ahead. To change the direction of a junction, use the left and right D-pad buttons. Press the right D-pad button to switch the direction of the closest junction in front of our train to the right. Great! You can now use the Y button to cycle to the train brake, then use the right bumper to release it. Use the X button to cycle to the throttle and press the right trigger to start moving again. I've applied the train brake as you are well over the speed limit. You must keep your speed within the speed limit. At the end of this line, you'll reach Gilbert's yard. Now remember, you can focus the camera on any part of your train, all while maintaining full driving control. Move the left thumbstick in the direction of the train car you want to focus on. This will move the camera along the train. It's handy when you need to see other parts of the train besides the locomotive you're in. you to reduce your speed as you make your way under the coal loader. The speed limit here is 5 miles per hour. Slowly pull the cars under the coal loader to fill up each coal hopper.
I guess you guys coming out the south all the way over?
We will be on the south all the way over.
Yeah, that's fine, guys. Get to the light. Give me a heads up from Flanagan, please.
Get to the light, call you Flanagan. Very good. CS 3048 north of.
Nice. That's one hopper loaded. Continue to fill the rest of the coal hoppers. If you miss loading a coal hopper, you'll need to reverse the train to get back to the coal loader. To do this, use the X button to cycle to reverser mode and put the train in reverse. Once in reverse, cycle to throttle mode and give it a little throttle to move the train slowly through the coal hoppers. The wagons will only start to fill if you're within or under the speed limit. Well done. Only one coal hopper left to fill. Nice work. We're gonna need to take these back to Richmond Yard where we first started. Let's have a short break. Once you're feeling refreshed, we'll head to the other end of the train to switch locomotives and start our way back. I'm keen to see how you handle the weight of a full coal train. I remember my first day driving a fully loaded coal train to this very spot.
Yeah, keep going and it'll be the last day you remember.
About 20 feet, that's where you cleared the other end.